Welcome back, Renegades. Today we got the deck profile as well as some bonus gameplay with Red Luffy from Starter Deck 21. We'll be facing off against Red Purple Sugar, Green Yellow Law, and Yellow Kid. Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe. If you like the content, your friends may as well. Let's get into the deck profile, and then we'll get some gameplay going, as well as all the matches and deck profile will be timestamped in the description. Let's get into it. Monkey D. Luffy from Starter Deck 21. It's a 5-life mono red leader with 5k power. With the ability of Dawn 1, activate main once per turn. Give one of your characters up to 2 rested Dawn cards. He has the Straw Hat crew and the 4 Emperors tag. New leader, interesting. I've been having a lot of fun with him. We're just going to get into the profile. This is a deck that I ran for the videos, but after running and testing, I do see some changes that I'd like to make, but I'll discuss those at the end of the video. Alright, so we're going to run 2 copies of Kid and Killer. 4/5, no counter, has rush. When attacking, if your opponent has 2 or less life cards, this character gains 2,000 power until the end of the turn. It's a Supernova Kid Pirate, so it's not searchable in this deck. It's no counter, so we're only running 2 copies. We don't want to get too many non-counter cards in hand, because we are running quite a bit of them. Yeah, good card. It's been pretty good in red deck since it came out in EBO1. Another card from EBO1 we're running is the Tony Chopper, the 3-drop 4,000 power blocker with a 1k counter. It has Dawn 2 when attacking. Give it to one of your opponent's characters minus 3,000 power during this turn. So that Dawn 2 works really good with the leader. We can use 1 Dawn on the leader, putting 2 on Chopper, and swinging a 6k, giving something minus 3. 2 copies of Sanji from OP10. It's a 2k counter. 2-drop 3,000 power character. Has activate main once per turn. You may add 1 card from your life area to your hand to give this character 2,000 power during this turn, and then give it to Rested Dawn. This one's mostly a 2k because we don't have a way to give it rush like we do in other decks. So 2k, but it is there as a utility. If we need to get an extra 7k swing in, we can set it up. Search for the deck, the Nami from OP01. It's a 1-drop, 2,000 power, 1k counter. Look at the top 5. Grab a Straw Hat other than Nami. Rest of the bottom of the deck. Red Searcher for Straw Hats, been around for a while. It hits a lot of targets in the deck. There's a couple that don't, like the Kid and Killer like we were talking about, and then we have a couple other cards. For another card from OP01, we have the 3/5 no counter Zoro with Rush. It's just a cheap body to deploy down with Rush. If we can't have the extra Rested Dawn or a way to attach, we can make this a 7k swing pretty easily with our leader. New card from OP10. The Sanji, the 3,000 power 3-drop with 1k counter. Has your turn. This character gains 6,000 or 3,000 power, so it becomes a 6k on your turn. And then on KO, draw a card. So this is good just to be able to pressure in for a 6k swing without any Dawn investment. If you have an extra one, you can just throw it on it, make it a 7k. We're running Tony Chopper from OP10, the 4-drop 4,000 power blocker. It's also our 2k in the deck, so multi-use card here. Opponent's turn, this character has 2,000 power, so on your opponent's turn, it's a 6k blocker, which is great, or if you decide to swing with it, it's a 6k that they have to pressure into. Good card from OP10. We got some good support between the starter deck and OP10, plus some original Straw Hats that joined the party, so deck's been a lot of fun. From starter deck 1, yeah, so we're on starter deck 21 leader. This card from starter deck 1 still being viable in Straw Hats. The 1-drop 1,000 power Nami with a 1k counter. Activate main once per turn. Give up to 1 Rested Dawn card to your leader or one of your characters. The card works really good with leader because the leader only needs 1 Dawn on it to be able to give 2 rested to something else. So this can set up to give the Dawn to the leader, and the leader can give 2 Dawn to something else. We're running 2 copies of Edward Newgate from starter deck 15. This is a 7-drop, 8,000 power, no counter. As on play, give your leader or one of your characters up to 1 rested Dawn. Another way just to feed our leader a Dawn so that we can use this ability. Has activate main, you may rest this character to KO up to one of your opponent's characters with 5,000 or less power. We don't really have too much of a way to do any power reduction in the deck outside of our Chopper here. There's a lot of cards that with the 5k or less power we want to get rid of, and this can do it. It's an 8k body that can pressure pretty easily into the board, into your opponent's life. Probably one of my favorite cards from the new starter deck. Sanji from Starter Deck 21. This is similar to the Diable Jambe. It's a 2-drop, 3000 power character with a 2k counter, so it is another 2k. Has on play, choose up to one of your Straw Hat type characters with power of 6,000 or more. And then during this turn, your opponent may not activate blocker when that character attacks. So we're going to be pressuring a lot of damage very fast. So your opponent's like going to try to use their blockers as best to stay alive. And this can come down and get that last shot in. So I really like this card. Multifunction. Most of the time it's going to be a 2k. But when the occasion occurs where your opponent is putting a lot of blockers up, this guy can clutch games, especially against Blackbeard, if they don't shut your on play. But most of the time they're going to do that. But if they just, for some reason, they've been countering out because you're pressuring so aggressively, they cannot use the leader effect to shut your on plays. This card can sneak a game out pretty easily. We're running 3 copies of Jewelry Bonnie from Starter Deck 21. This is not searchable either. It's a 1-drop, 3000 power, no counter. Has Dawn 2 on KO, draw card. So it does work with the leader as far as us giving Rested Dawn to it, making it a 5k swing. If they pressure it back into it, we get to draw a card. Similar to our Sanji here. If they KO it, we draw a card. This is the one card that I'll talk about here at the end that I think we can adjust. We can kind of take this out for something else. We're running the Nami from Starter Deck 21, the 3-drop, 1000 power, 1k counter. Activate main once per turn. Give up to 2 Rested Dawn to one of your Straw Hat type leaders or characters. That synergizes good with the leader. It also synergizes well with our Chopper and some other cards in the deck. It says up to, so we can give just one Rested Dawn to our leader, and that's so we can push the other Dawn somewhere else. So it's very useful. It's very flexible in the terms of what we need. The main cards of the deck we got from Starter Deck 21, we have Monkey D. Luffy. This is your 5-drop, 6,000 power, no counter. Has rush, and when attacking, you can give your leader or one of your characters 1 Rested Dawn. Once again, another way for us to feed our leader that 1 Dawn to give Rested Dawn somewhere else to make bigger swings, or in the next card's case to actually give it rush. This is the Zoro from Starter Deck 21, the 4-drop, 5,000 power. This does have a 1k counter. Dawn 2, this character gains rush. So like I said, very, very easy to set up this character coming down as a 7k swing. The turn it drops, there's a lot of things that help get this card online. And then it has a really cool ability where on KO, you may play a red character with 6,000 base power or below, other than Zoro, from your hand. So there's a lot of options to target here. So if they KO, we can drop down the Luffy. You can drop down a blocker, either the Chopper or the other Chopper. We can also drop down this Sanji to set up for next turn. We could drop this down if we have to. So, you know, if it's your last swing into, they can have this guy ready to go. Just a very useful card. Like I said, most of the time it's going to be coming down and gaining the rush ability with all the ways we have to feed our leader Rested Dawn and then the leader pushing Dawn elsewhere. This deck is very aggressive. We are running 3 copies of Bad Manners Kick Course because we do run a high number of no counter cards in deck. So we're running like 15 cards, roughly without any counter. So this is just a way for us to have counter in hand. So 0-drop event from OP04. You may trash 1 card from your hand to give to one of your leaders or characters 3,000 power for this battle. And it does have a trigger ability to give up to one of your opponent's leaders or characters minus 3,000 power for this turn. I'm a big fan of Guard Point, but this is very useful with the amount of no counter cards we have in our deck. I see the usefulness of this. So over to Jewelry Bonnie. She has no counter. You have to have the 2 Dawn on her to make her even like a lethal swing. So with her, I've done all my gameplay testing with her in the deck. I do think that I'm going to end up removing her. And we're going to bring up 3 of these Sanjis from Starter Deck 1. It's a 2-4. So you only have to have 1 Dawn on it to make it a lethal swing compared to 2. You don't get the card draw, but Dawn 2, which synergizes with our leader, and the Nami here, We can make this a 6k swing the turn it comes down, which is really good. So I think we're going to test this one. It doesn't have any counter, so we didn't like gain any counter power. We didn't lose any counter power. I just want to try out the Sanji over the Jewelry Bonnie. But all my gameplay testing has been done with Bonnie in the deck. And a lot of times, like, it works, you know, because you can get it down pretty easy. You can get the 2 Dawn on it, pretty consistent, just be able to swing for 5. But I like the Sanji. It's also searchable off our Nami. So I think it just syncs a little bit better with the deck. So that's what I'm going to be running if I make another deck profile. I don't think that's what anything else I would probably change with the deck as of right now. Maybe the New Gates. The New Gate's good, but I might think about this one. But I know for right now the Bonnies I want to take out and replace with the Sanjis to try that. But alright guys, hope you guys are enjoying the deck profile, and let's get into some gameplay. Here we have Luffy versus Red Purple Sugar. Opponent chooses to go first. We do take a mulligan here. Opponent gets a Dawn, passes over. We're going to drop the 1-drop Nami, let's attach Dawn. And then we're going to put the Jewelry Bonnie down. Just pass the turn back over. Opponent's going to put 1 on their leader, pressuring 6 into life. We're going to take the first hit, pass it back with 2 Dawn open. We're at 4 now. We're going to drop down our 3-drop Rush Zoro, putting the extra 1 on leader. And using leader effect to put 2 on the Bonnie, pressuring 5. Opponent uses a counter and gets rid of our Nami. And then we're going to go 5 with our Zoro. They take this. And then we're going to go 6 with our leader. They're going to counter out of there. Back over to the opponent. They're going to play down Viola, which is a blocker for them. 1 on their leader, pressuring 6 into our rested Zoro. We're going to counter out. Back over to us. We're going to play down our 5/6 Luffy with Rush. We're going to put 1 Dawn on that Luffy, pressuring 7, giving a rested Dawn to our leader. We're going to counter out. They gave our leader minus 3,000. We're going to use our leader effect to give the Bonnie 2 Dawn. They take the hit. And then Zoro is going to pressure 5. They take that hit as well. We're just going to pass back because they made our leader too weak to swing. They're going to play down their Doflamingo into a Senior Pink. Did they get Pink get anything? Nope. I'm just going to pressure 5 into Zoro. We're going to counter out. Passing it back over to us. We're going to drop down our 4/6 Zoro. We're going to put a Dawn on our leader. Using leader effect to give that Zoro 2 Dawn, giving it Rush. 2 on Bonnie, pressuring 5. Using Dofi's effect, and then they're going to counter out. Giving our Rush Luffy minus 2k. We're going to put 1 on it, just making it a 5k swing. Giving a rested Dawn to our leader. They take that hit. We got a 5k swing with our 3/5 Zoro. They're going to counter out. We're going to pressure 7 with the Rush Zoro. They use their blocker. Then we're going to go 7 into life. They counter out. We just pass it back. Opponent scoops it up. Luffy versus Green Yellow Law. Opponent chooses to go first. They're going to get a Dawn. Play down a Jewelry Bonnie. Passing it back over to us. We're going to play down a Nami Searcher. We're going to grab our 5/6 Luffy. And we're going to play down a Jewelry Bonnie. Passing the turn over to the opponent. They're going to use their Bonnie to get a Trafalgar Law from starter deck 2. They're going to use a search event, it looks like, to get another Jewelry Bonnie, this one from OP07. 1 on leader, pressuring 6 into life. We're going to take this. Opponent passing it back over to us. We're going to drop down our 3/5 Rush Zoro, putting 1 on leader. Using the ability to put 2 on Bonnie, pressuring 5. They take this hit. They use their Beiji, so we cannot use our leader. We're going to pressure that rested Bonnie Searcher with our Nami. They're going to counter out. We're going to pressure it with the Zoro, and we get it. And we're just pass it back over to the opponent. Opponent's going to play down Cavendish, readying 2 Dawn. They're going to put 1 Dawn on their leader. Playing down a Capone, taking a life, putting a Jewelry Bonnie on top of their life, base up. Law's going to use leader effect to play down the Bonnie from life, returning Beige. Freezing down our Zoro, pressuring the Bonnie. We let him have it, so we get draw a card. Opponent passes back over to us. We're going to deploy down our 4/6 Zoro, 1 on leader, giving the 2 rested Dawn to the Zoro, making it a 7k rush. We're going to swing into life here. They take this hit. We're going to play down another Nami Searcher here. We're going to grab a Untitled Chapter blocker from EV01, pressuring 6 into life with our leader. They're going to counter out. We just pass it back over to them. They're going to pressure 6 into our rested Zoro from EV01, OP01 with their Bonnie. We're going to counter. They're going to play down the 7/9 Law, using its on play effect. Put a Supernova on top of their life and giving their leader a rested Dawn. They're going to pressure 6 with the Cavendish into our rested Zoro. We're going to counter out. Opponent's going to use leader effect, returning Bonnie, playing down starter deck. What was that, 2? Law to ready the Cavendish, pressuring again into the same Zoro, readying 2 more Dawn. We're going to give it to him that time. Opponent's going to pressure 7 with their leader into that rested the other Zoro. We're going to let them have it and put down our 5/6 Luffy. They're going to play down a Zoro on pass turn. We're going to play down a Untitled Chapter blocker here, putting 1 on the 5/6 Luffy, pressuring 7 into life, putting a rested Dawn on one of our Nami searchers. They take that hit, put 1 on leader, putting 2 more on the Nami, pressuring 5. They counter. We're going to put the last 3 on our leader, pressuring 9 into life, and we get it. Luffy versus Yellow Kid. We're going to go first, take a mulligan here. A little bit better of a hand. Get our Dawn. We're going to play down the Nami searcher. We're going to grab a 2K Sanji, pass it over to the opponent. Opponent's going to pass it back after getting their 2 Dawn. We're going to play down the 3-drop Nami. Allows us to give up the 2 rested to a leader or character. We're just going to attack 7. They take this hit and pass it back over to them. Opponent's going to put 1 on their leader, pressuring 6 into our leader here. We can use that 2K. Going to play down their Zoro. They had rush. We're going to take this hit. They're going to use their leader effect to make that Zoro a blocker, revealing a Frankie from the top of their life, passing it back over to us. We're going to play a 5/6 Luffy. We're just going to attack with our 5/6 Luffy, giving a rested Dawn to leader. They take it. We're going to use our leader effect here to put 2 on to our Nami searcher, and then the other Nami, putting 2 more, making a 6K swing out of that Nami. They counter out. Then we're going to attack 6 into life. They're going to counter out of this hit. I'm just going to pass it back over to them. We don't have a lot of counter in hand, but we're sitting okay. We're going to play down Nico Robin, trashing top card of our life, pressuring 5 into our rested Nami searcher. We're going to give that to them. They're going to pressure 5 into life with their Zoro. We're going to counter out. They're going to reveal the top card of their life, a Satori, giving their Zoro blocker, passing it back over to us. We're going to play down our 3/5 Rush Luffy here. We're going to put 1 on leader, using its leader effect. We're going to put 2 Dawn on the 5/6 Luffy. We're going to play down the 3-drop Sanji there, using our other Nami's ability, putting it on the Rush Zoro. Going 8 into life here. They're going to use their blocker. We're going to go 8 again. They're going to take this hit. They're going to use the Satori trigger to play it out. We're going to go 6 into life with our leader. They take this hit. Just pass it back over to them. We got 3 life. They got the Nico Robin and the Satori, their leader. We have the 0-drop event, so we have technically 4K counter in hand if we need it. They're going to play down the Gadatsu, trashing our 3/5 Zoro. 3 on the Nico Robin, going 9 into our rested Luffy. We're going to counter out here. Keep that alive so we can pressure back. If they go 5 into life, we could take this. And then 5 again with leader. We'll take that. Opponent's going to pass it back over now. I'm going to put 3 on our Sanji, pressuring. They take that hit. We're going to put the rest here on our leader, going 11K into life, and we still have a 5/6 to back it up, but we get it. As always, thanks for watching. I hope you guys are enjoying the content. Friendly reminder, if you have not subscribed yet, please do so. It greatly helps the channel, and as always, we will see you in the next one.